So it's finally time to get to working on the Wagoneer. First thing I'm gonna take care of though, because it's pretty adamantly important, is the oil pressure gauge being hooked up, because I don't know what happened. It worked. That's all oil just dripping on the ground from me idling for just a few seconds. So I haven't really been running this thing at all, unless I could help it. So I'm about to climb up here and crawl around and figure out where this thing's at, because I have no idea where the nylon hose went. Let me crawl around under here with a light, see if I can't find this thing. Okay, I've been searching everywhere on this thing for that hose and trying to figure out where it comes out at, and I can't find it. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next thing that is a problem, and that is whenever you drive this thing down the road and you hit bumps, the steering's all jerky and everything. And I did three things really. I ordered a new steering stabilizer shock. I ordered a new pitman arm, a drop pitman arm, because this thing's got this big lift on it. And I ordered a new drag link. And I'm about to show y'all why. I may have covered this in my other video, but I'm about to show y'all why I ordered a new drag link. As you can see right here, oh, let me get some light. So as you can see, there's this homemade link. And I just made a discovery. You can see right there where it's been hitting the steering stabilizer U-bolt every time the suspension flexes. So this has to come out. And they didn't put a drop pitman arm in here, so I'm about to change that pitman arm out as well. You gotta love some redneck ingenuity sometimes. It looks good, don't get me wrong, that drag link looks very well made. It's just, that is not the right way to do that. You don't make a drop drag link, because then you get issues like this, and that's dangerous going down the road. So let me get the new stuff out of the inside of the Wagoneer, and I'll get some tools together and we'll bust this thing loose and change it out. All right, it took me a little bit to find my pitman arm puller, but I found it. And what is wrong with you? Anyways, I got all these nice new parts here. Got my drag link, the drop pitman arm, and the new BDS steering stabilizer shock. So we're gonna go ahead and get under here and get to taking the old stuff off, and so we can put all this new stuff on here, and hopefully it'll drive worth of crap after that. First thing I'm gonna do, this is the cheaper pitman arm puller. Huh? Yeah. All right, so it's the next day, later in the afternoon. I went to Auto Parts and rented a better puller. So hopefully this one will actually, stay together and not strip out. It looks a lot more robust. And I also picked up a new torch bottle and head for the bottle because my propane one hasn't been working. I think, but it sounds like it has air coming out. It sounds like it has propane coming out, but it won't ignite when I hit it. So I just bought a whole new one because the map gas is supposed to burn hotter anyways. So I'm gonna get set up and put this new puller on there, get some pressure on it. I'm probably gonna have to put some heat to it.
That's what I call a close encounter.
So that worked out really well. I didn't even need to use the torch on it. Once I got enough pressure, it popped right off. I figured that I needed to do this C-clamp trick on it, but this puller didn't even hold up to the pressure. It stripped the threads out on the bolt part. So that's junk. But as you can see right here, I got the new drop pitman arm versus the stock pitman arm. You can see the considerable difference in the angles here. And this is supposed to be good for like a 4 to 6 inch lift. And it's sitting about a 4 to 6 inch lift due to the fact that they got the leaf springs on top of the axle tubes and other little things. So I'm gonna go ahead. I got my wire wheel. I'm gonna go ahead and wire wheel this stub shaft right here and the threads and everything, get it all good and clean. Now that I got this stub shaft clean on this steering box, I want to show y'all something with the splines on the box and inside this pitman arm. So if you look, you can see there's 4 flats in there that line up, and there's a corresponding flat on here. So I know that the old one I took off was literally straight on, going straight back like that. So that's the way I'm gonna put this one on, just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and look up what the torque is supposed to be on this to tighten this nut to, and we'll go ahead and get this put back together, and then we'll start working on putting the new drag link in and the new steering stabilizer shock, which Now that we got the pitman arm and the steering stabilizer shock installed, that thing was completely gone. There ain't no resistance in that. So I got the new drag link up here and went ahead and pulled the tie rod in off of the old, I don't know what to call the other one really. I went and pulled the tie rod in off the old one. I'm putting some never sees on these threads real quick, and then I'm gonna work on putting this together, and we'll go ahead and start fitting it back into here, get the length right. So what I do now is I'm gonna put this side on hand tight for this moment, and then I'm gonna kind of eyeball this. Like I said, I'm gonna hold the tie rod in, the ball joint side of the tie rod in, and adjust until it falls into the pitman arm. There we go. I'm gonna get some wrenches and tighten those up. First, I'm gonna tighten up this one over here. What's this one? I'm gonna tighten this one up, and I'm gonna double check the length. Still gotta put the cotter pin back in there, but let me take this nut out. I think that should be good. There. I just need to put cotter pins and everything. I got the one I pulled out right here for this side. Let's see if I can get it. grease fitting. This was stuck. All right, before anybody says anything, I know I didn't use the right wrench to tighten on here. It's just what to tighten this grease fitting. It's just what I had sitting by me, because apparently the wrench I grabbed, it seemed to fit, but it started to round it. And we got both fittings greased. We got the adjustment joint tightened down, locked in place, and we got both ends tightened down and the set cotter pins in place. So I think all this is good to go. And I want to touch on this. My torque wrench I have doesn't go high enough to torque this, so that impact's supposed to hit pretty hard on forward. So this is probably more than tight enough. I'll take it for a few test drives and check it afterwards to make sure. But the torque was supposed to be like 185 foot-pounds, but we got 2 uggers and a dugger on it, so it should be fine. And yeah, so that should be it for this. I think this is going to function so much better than what was in here. It's away from everything. You got room between everything. Nothing should make contact. If I need to, I can loosen these U-bolts right here and roll this down a little bit. And I may go ahead and do that just so I know that when I steer, I'm not going to hit this right here. But I'd like to take it for a test drive as it is. And I think this thing's going to be a completely different vehicle on the road after this. So, cross my fingers. Yeah, it didn't drop this good when we picked it up. And it drives.
It's pretty straight too when you took your hand off.
Yeah.
Falling in love with it for a second time.
Bump steer. All right, I forgot to do an outro the other day after we took this old girl for a test drive, and I'm gonna go over what we found. So it drives amazing up to about 45, which is, with these big tires, I think it's about 20 miles per hour off really on the speedometer. So it's actually more like 65, you know. Anyways, I hit some bumps and it got a little jiggly. You can see it in the video. So what I found when I came back to the house was, we got under here and we started looking around. I found that these bushings right here on the shackles look a little rough. The end links, I think, might be too long for the sway bars, and I'm pretty sure the shocks are overextended. So none of those things are helping anything. Also, I want to try and see what leaf springs are on the front of this thing. because I think they might be a 4-inch lift on top of these things being flipped to spring over axle. And if they're lift leaf, then that means I can actually put stock leaves back in this thing and drop it back down to a stock height over the drop it back down to a stockish height, even though the spring is flipped. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I hope y'all liked the video on the Wagoneer. If y'all want to see more content on it, like and subscribe and hit the bell so that way y'all get notified when I upload a video. Whether it be the Wagoneer, the Prelude, the RSX, whatever. If there's something you're interested in and want to stay tuned for it, make sure you subscribe. Anyways, as usual, appreciate y'all watching.